Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk to you about makeup, and I had a little trip to Rite Aid this evening in the snowfall, and I'm going to show you how I came up with this makeup look. And I usually kind of do either a story time or I do a makeup look, but since I know you guys like my stories, and since I had an interesting day, I figured I combine them all into one video. And I hope it doesn't run too long for you. And just so you know, the makeup is using this palette from B&H Cosmetics. This is the Galaxy Chic. But I'm not going to take it off right away. I'm going to talk to you first. I went to Rite Aid because I had a stack of makeup coupons, and yesterday most of them were going to expire. And I was originally going to go yesterday, but we are, as most of the country is in kind of a deep freeze. Well, not as bad as the Midwest, but it actually started snowing early this morning. And I was trying to get up the intestinal fortitude to go out today because the Rite Aid, it's a short walk, but it's still a walk. But I went out and I got just a few things. First of all, this was on, this is the last thing I got. This was on a clearance rack. This is 19 ounces of chocolate for $1.62 or $1.32, excuse me. Hershey's Kisses, 19 ounces, that's a little more than a pound. So you cannot get that. That's better. I mean, if you've ever bought chocolate at dollar stores, you're lucky if you get between 3 and 5.5 ounces, if you're lucky. So that was definitely a good deal. But that isn't why I went to Rite Aid. I didn't even know that I would get chocolate there. I beeline right for the makeup. And now this mascara, one of the things I got, I have had this on my list for about 2 years. I'm sure a lot of people do. I get ideas from magazines, fashion magazines and things. And if I see something that I find intriguing, I'll cut it out and I might stick it in a file folder. I might even put it on a wall. Not a wall that it's something I film against, but just something that I can reference because visual references are always very useful. And some of these things I refer to when I make my online orders. Some things I eventually take shopping. And I had a $2 off coupon on L'Oreal products. And this is waterproof, which I really, really, really need. And this also seemed to, and I understand that when you're looking at mascara ads, almost all of the ads say that these depict mascara, how it looks with people wearing lash inserts, which I think should absolutely be against the law because, of course, you're going to look fantastic with lash inserts, just like most of the YouTube makeup girls seem to wear false eyelashes. Of course you're going to look fantastic with, you have 2-inch scoops of hair sticking out of your eyes. Of course you're going to look great. And if you're going to show me a mascara ad showing somebody with false eyelashes, how are we going to know what mascara really looks like? But that said, one of the ads I saw for this didn't say anything about lash inserts. I like the fact that this has fibers. I like the fact that this actually has a primer that you use before you use a mascara. And of almost all the mascaras I saw that did not claim to use lash inserts, the lashes seem to look best with this mascara. So, and I didn't know that it came in a waterproof formula, but since I'm absolutely out of a real waterproof mascara, I decided that I would treat myself. The list price for this was $11 and change. I got $2 off. I still think that's a lot of money for a mascara, but I'm going to hope that it's really good. I thought it was worth the investment, so I got it. Now, this thing here, I actually got on the advice of one of the YouTubers that I watch. I generally don't really look to other people for advice, even when I look at fashion magazines and things, because I have gotten bad advice from magazines before. I've gotten bad advice from bloggers before. For instance, I took a chance on a certain contour shade that was supposed to be ideal for the palest of people. And this product I bought was so way too obnoxiously dark. I'm thinking, what kind of pale skinned person was this blogger even referring to? So you got to really take a grain of salt any kind of advice you get from people. But that said, one of the YouTubers that I follow recommended the Age Rewind Maybelline uh, found, concealer, and I was looking for another concealer. I hope the heck it's light enough for me. I got the lightest one I could find. This is number 100, and the color is called Ivory. I've had a lot of too dark ivories before, but it was the lightest one I could find in that brand. And again, I had like $1.50 off coupon on it, and I think this was like $9 or something. So $1.50 off, you know. So and since I had a Rite Aid card, I'm sure that that gives you a little bit more of a discount. So, and I had like $20 balance on one of the gift cards from one of my day jobs that I had to use up. So and these were things that were very useful. Now I'm looking forward to, as of Tuesday, a new shipment of makeup was sent my way from Burbank, California. Of course, since we had deep freeze and there were a couple of days of no mail delivery in the Midwest, I don't know when I'm going to get it. Sometimes it takes me about 2 weeks to get a makeup shipment from Burbank, California. Now, how the heck can it take 2 weeks to get from Burbank to here? Are they walking? Sometimes I think, I mean, if I went on Greyhound, went to their warehouse, got the stuff and brought it back, I would get it faster than I get it from the mail service. But when I get my shipment of new makeup from B&H, I will definitely do an unboxing here on my channel, because there's some things I got really good deal on some things, and especially when you get not only the free shipping, but you get a gift with purchase. Those are the best ways to shop, because you're getting your percentage off, you're getting your free shipping, and if you can get more things, and especially if they're things that you really would buy and not just some junk that you don't have any use for, then it's really worth it. So I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, and I feel kind of bad about something. About There's a cat colony that sometimes I feed, and they're a block away. And one of my other local cat rescue friends told me that he sometimes feeds them. So I figured, since somebody else is feeding them, it takes the slack off of me. And sometimes I don't make it over there, because between my YouTube responsibilities and the two cats of my own and the online cat rescue I do and the show prep for YouTube, it isn't just the 3 days that I produce content, or that I have content to post, and the promotion and everything, but also the preparation involved. It's a lot more than just 3 days a week. So it takes up a lot of my time. But then I just recently found out that this person who had told me he had been feeding that colony, he said he had not been feeding those cats for 6 months. You want to know why he hasn't been feeding them? Because apparently one of the neighbors threatened him with a knife. And that street's kind of sketchy. It's not only ghetto, it's got a lot of unassimilated immigrants, and supposedly there were people that were poisoning cats, which would totally freak me out if I thought that that was really going on. And unfortunately, because of the language barrier, I don't know how to communicate with those people. So, but I'm going to go over there with hot water and some food, and I'm going, because of the snow is no longer falling, it's just maybe blowing around some, and it might even melt a little tomorrow, but I definitely want to leave some food and water out for those cats. So, yeah, that was the kind of day that I had today. But I'm sure you're really watching this because you want to see how I did this makeup. So, might as well get to it. Got my trusty coconut oil here, and I'm digging it out this time using a chopstick that was from this Chinese restaurant that my mother used to work in. She was a cashier at this restaurant called The Rim that was at the Trump Taj Mahal casino. And these are not made of wood. These are actually made of plastic, and they're quite durable. One other thing that I'm preparing for, well, I'm taking my good old time too, that I want to do on my channel is I want to do a video about drugstore mascaras, because it occurs to me, well, most YouTubers that do makeup beauty content we save a lot of our empties. We save packaging, and it kind of becomes cluttersome and messy after a while because you have to store the stuff because you're going to want to reference it. So I have some really mediocre empties as far as mascara goes, and some packaging from a couple of really good ones, I thought. But most of them were disappointments, but there are enough of them that I think it will be warranting its own video. So that's something that you guys are going to have to look forward to later on in February, because I haven't really gone into show prep for that. I have started organizing the products and or the packaging, but then I'm going to have to draw up kind of an outline and all the other things that I do by way of preparing for my videos. So anyway, you got something to look forward to. Now, it's always best I remember the washcloth. What I do is this tamps down on some of the oil residue. You know, I might go back to Rite Aid tomorrow, get the rest of that chocolate, because there is like maybe 10 bags of it. And when the weather's crappy like this, people aren't exactly beaten down a path to go to these stores. And I can't imagine why people would pass up all that chocolate. Unless maybe it was a little bit old. I think that had to be the reason why it was on clearance. But chocolate has to be pretty old to be bad. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. I don't even want to tell you how much of that bag I had already, but there's nothing wrong with it. I am using a combination of two different foundations. I did some of this because I want to use it up. This is Sassy and Chic brand BB cream, and it's too dark for me anyway, but I do want to use it up. This is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation. The lightest shade they have available, it's 102 Porcelain. And let's see, gotta squeeze the very last little bit out of here. And this is really good as a base for eyeshadow. Even though if it's a little bit too dark, you still probably want to go back on it with the Fit Me. I really like this foundation a lot, but most of the reasons why I like foundations are because they're good color matches, because I really do find it hard to get a decent color match. And when I was looking at the makeup in Rite Aid today, I couldn't help but notice how expensive things were. Even Wet n Wild and e.l.f. have some higher end priced options now. In the e.l.f. section, they have a vitamin C primer or something, and they want like $20 for it. I never remember e.l.f. products being that expensive. I used to order from them from their website, but the thing is, I found with them the lipstick quality can be a little iffy in that if you get them, and they have some dollar lipsticks, or they did at one time, but when you get them, you really want to use them up kind of fast because they go rancid pretty quickly. In less than 3 years, half the lipsticks I got from them went bad. So, I mean, I never had so many lipsticks go rancid on me at one time. It seems like I had over 25 lipsticks go bad at one time. Now, mind you, some of them I had years. I don't throw things out unless I absolutely have to. If it's a purple lipstick and it goes rancid, I could just use it to do my eyebrows. But other than that, I try not to throw out things unnecessarily. I can't afford to, and I don't like to waste things. Okay. And isn't this cute to keep the brushes? First thing we're going to do is, and I almost wasn't going to do this today because I did this earlier, but you know, whenever you wear makeup, a decent makeup job, and you go out in the snow always messes it up. I mean, there's no way it's going to look as good as it did before you left the house. So I took all my makeup off and I redid it before this. And I almost wasn't going to do this because I thought this looked too similar to another makeup that I did not too long ago. But you know what? I know the colors are different. I know the palette's different. I can't help it that half these things look similar because most of these palettes have some of the similar shades. I can't control that. So that said, we are going to start this with, there's a color called Comet, which is kind of like a teal color, but it actually has more green than teal. And I have it on an ELF brush, ELF, and I didn't put a powder coating on my lids this time. I want to take advantage of all the tackiness. Now, I'm putting this just on the lid, almost to the crease, and not to the corner, but here, 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 here. Okay, you're packing it on. Now, next thing I'm going to do is take a big fluffy brush, and some of these shadows here are actually two colors in one. I'm going to very carefully, there's a color called Earth that has some blue stripes and has some white. I try my best to get just white. You know what, actually I'm going to use a finer brush. This one? I guess, check to make sure. No, this is too frosty. Ah, here it is. I'm going to use this brush here. That is from Vivace, Vivace, and I am going to, like I said, I'm going to go for the white part of this blue and white stripe thing. The color is called Earth, and try to touch it just to the white area. Then I'm going to lightly, I don't want it to be too highlighty. Lightly. Okay. Then I'm going to find the right brush. Ah, okay. Now, for the crease color, we're going to use the stripe inside this color called Mercury. You can see it has some white stripes here and a frosty white thing here, and you have a brown in the center. And this brown seems like a cooler brown than the Mars brown here. So I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to tap it in the center because you only want to get the brown. You don't want to get any of the white. Then I'm going to go lightly at first. If that doesn't show up, hit it some more. See, this looks so much darker than this side. Okay, it's darker, so you know what we do? Take this big fluffy brush, again, touch it just to the white. I'm going to hit this again. You know what? I'm going to touch some of it to the brow bone on the other side because I want them to match. You know what I think the problem was? I should have used this as a base under this eye. Using that Sassy and Chic BB cream, it's technically too dark for my very, very pale skin, so I hate it when both sides don't match. I do this and it doesn't match, and it just grinds my gears. You know what I mean? Okay, now we are going to go for inner eye corner, and we're going to use this pale blue color here called Electra. We're going to use an e.l.f. C brush. See that it's smaller? It's for packing, it's not for blending. And use both sides. These colors, you can apply wet or dry, but we're doing all these wet. We're doing all these dry, excuse me. Just pack it in the corner. And you know what? I think we should intensify this comet. Now, if you hear any tumbling sound in the hallway, it's the darling cats that are having a kerfuffle or something. Oh, I hope I didn't drop a brush. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is a brush from Vivace, V-A-C-E, and we are going to dip it into this dark blue here called Neptune. I really like this brush because it's slightly tapered at the tip, so you can do some detailing. Now with this, we're going to do kind of like a circle in the outer corner to give your eye some dimension here. I like to start the circle, go like this, and then pull it out just a little bit so it makes like that triangle. Now, I want to darken up the crease. So again, we're going to take this brush and go back into the brown that's in this color Mercury. One thing I have to say about the names for the colors in this palette, while I think it's great that they do have names for the colors, the names have no correspondence with what the colors should actually be for the planets. Like, for instance, Mars is orange. No, Mars is brown. Venus is orange. Jupiter's red. Does that seem right to you? I would think that the colors should make more sense, go with the colors. The name should go with the planets and what we would ascribe the colors to be. It just would make more sense to me. Okay, yeah, I want to darken up this crease. Cassie! Cassie the cat, I'm going to pick you up in a minute. Cassie the cat! I want to give some more definition to the outer corner. So I'm going to use this brush here. I believe this is also from e.l.f. This is another C brush. I'm going to go into this brown here called Mars. And I'm going to take advantage of this narrow shape. And I'm going to go like this. Get a good amount of shadow. Tap it off. And I'm going to go just in a straight line from the corner to the eyebrow. Try to make sure that it's the same angle as this. Good enough. Okay. I am going to get the eyeliner out now. This eyeliner I know you've seen before. This is Wet n Wild H2O proof. It's supposed to be a waterproof eyeliner. On me, it is not. It's a lot of times I don't wear it because if I'm really hot and sweaty, before this dries down, this will expand. I try to get as thin a line as possible with it, but if I don't, it feathers very easily before it dries. So it is a challenge getting a real fine line. That snow must be melting some because I can hear people really being active outside. Now, granted, it is a Friday night, and right now it's 4:03 in the morning. See, this is my normal filming schedule. I very rarely film during civilized times in the daytime. I just don't have the quiet for it. I really don't. I have one of my roommates blasts the TV so loud. He's got a really great sound system, and he must have it on 100. And also because he has the biggest room in the apartment and he's so far away from his television, so I guess that's his excuse to blast it. So meanwhile, anybody else has to put on their TV or their radio up as loud as they could possibly have it just to hear it. And needless to say, if they're doing it in the next room, it's going to come up on my audio, so I can't film when they got their stuff going on. I hear you. I think she's playing with the catnip mouse. I do feel bad for the neighbors because they're sharing a hallway. And if she's getting on my nerves, I'm sure she's getting on their nerves. I'm going to do a little bit of, I'm going to use, this brush is a two-sided brush that I got from Avon. One side is soft and fluffy, and the other can be used as an eyeliner brush. It could also be used just to take eyeshadow and carry it underneath. I'm going to stick this, what color did I use? I'm going to stick this in the Electra, the light blue. And I'm going to stick it right in the corner for my highlight. I was going to carry more colors down underneath, and I decided I would just keep it with the black eyeliner. That's enough. This is a mascara I'm using. This is by Wet n Wild. It's their Mega Plump. And I am not thrilled with this mascara, but I only opened it up like 2 weeks ago. And I'm using it to use it up. It's alright. I didn't pay much for it. I mean, I got it at the Dollar Tree, so I shouldn't complain. That's why that mascara that I got today, that I see is a real investment. But the last couple of mascaras I got that were supposed to be waterproof really weren't, and there are times when you need a decent waterproof mascara. No, I really do like the fact that my nearest Rite Aid's open 24 hours. That's really great. I like shopping really late. There's much less people. It's peaceful. You can take your time. And when you don't have to worry about a closing time, you don't feel uh, under pressure to hurry up and get out of there so the employees can go home. And another thing, the music that they pipe in isn't nearly as loud when it's really late. And if you're the kind of person that gets distracted by that piped in music, Anybody who's, especially if you're really creative, if you're a songwriter or something, you don't necessarily want to be hearing that stuff. This is the blush that I used. I didn't use a contour. I decided to use the blush for that purpose. I used actually the brightest blush. Oh, this is the Special Occasion eyeshadow and blush palette by B&H Cosmetics. Most of the eyeshadows are too neutral for me to really like too much, but the blushes are pretty cool. But I'm using the brightest one, which is the closest to purple, and using a brush like this, I just did it, concentrated it really high, didn't blend it all that much. And for my highlight, I used the Blacklight Highlight Palette from B&H Cosmetics. And I used the blue one called Queen. Queen with a K. Kween. Swirled it. Tap. Tap. Here. Here. Okay. Now this is a lipstick. This is from CoverGirl from and Katy Perry. Katy Cat Matte. The color is a lavender, and you can see it's almost used up. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, if you're wondering what's on my nails, this is the clear base coat from Tropez. You know, all the 99-cent store makeup is 50 cents in Atlantic City, just so you know. This is from a company called Fingers. This was a 3-pack of miniature nail polishes, and it's some kind of gold. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing. Oh, and I have a cat. Cassie the cat. Cassie the garden cat. Oh, I bet she's glad that she didn't have to be out in the snow today. Yes, all those kitties that are so cold outside and they don't have homes and they're out in the cold. Oh, and you just got my hair all germy. Thanks a lot, cat. Yes, and I'm a germaphobe. So, and I know where kitty paws go. So, you know what I do. I don't want the gungy bungees from kitty butts. Okay, that is my video for today. That is the look I got from the B&H Cosmetics Galaxy Chic palette. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. When you do, hit that bell notification, and that way you won't miss anything. I will talk to you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.